If you haven't heard or you've been living on the rock, Kenny Golladay is pretty much doubtful for tomorrow's game versus the Chicago Bears. He probably will not play. So who should step up and replace Kenny Golladay on the outside? Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. And it's just kind of where it gets tricky for the Lions. I mean, the Lions have a lot of slot receivers, guys that's probably projected to do well in the slot. Cephus is projected to be just like Juice Landry and down there in Cleveland, a slot receiver. Marvin Hall has played predominantly out the slot when he is in the game. He only had 7 catches last year. I mean, not sure who's going to be from the practice squad, but those are two I think of. People say, what about Danny Amendola? Obviously, naturally, Marvin Jones, let me clarify this, switches to the number 1 receiver. Amendola exclusively is a slot receiver. So, you also got Agnew, Amendola, Cephus. So let's talk about who probably be the best fit to be opposite outside of Marvin Jones, who would be the number 1 receiver on Sunday if Kenny Golladay does not play. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. Appreciate everybody for showing love. But yeah, no, it's a good question. And I think the best candidate is probably going to be Cephus. He played a lot outside in college. Very productive versus great corners like Jeff Okudah. So I probably would project him. But, to start with Marvin Hall, it all depends. Can he get off the release? Can he get off the release on the line? How well does he run the route tree? I mean, if you're just looking at him to run the deep routes, you know what I'm saying? That's cool because you got Amendola working underneath. Don't forget you got, Marvin Hall who could work the entire field. So even if you just do got a deep threat like Marvin Hall out there, I think he would be a good candidate for that as long as he can get off press. If he can beat press off the line, if he out there getting jammed to get knocked off his route, then basically if you out there, let's say you out there 3 wide, 1 tight end, 1 back. So now if he getting jammed off the route, he can't get off the line with a clean release the majority of the time. So really that takes away 1 receiver. You know what I'm saying? So now the safeties and the linebackers and everybody else, maybe a lineman dropping in the coverage, the nickelback, they all can focus on the 2 other receivers and the tight end and the running back coming out the backfield. So that's what you got to understand. Who can be successful on the outside? And it's different from playing in the slot and only catching 7 balls. Marvin Hall got more experience in the NFL, but does he have more experience playing in actual games on the outside than Cephus? Is the question. But if he can just run those deep routes, he can get off the line. People say, well, they can, they can kind of, bunch him up and line him off the line of scrimmage when he get a clean release. Yeah. But then again, if you're going to line him off the line of scrimmage and bunch him up, that limits your playbook as well, too. So can you spread it out 3 wide and Marvin Hall playing on the outside? Like, that's the question. He don't have to run the entire route tree. You know what I'm saying? Perfectly. If he can go run skinny post, he can run the comeback, he can run the slant, he can run those routes. That's cool. But if you just want to limit to him running the deep routes, you want to just go receiver by committee and you say, okay, the intermediate routes we go with Cephus, the deep routes we go with Marvin Hall or Jamal Agnew. I get that. But if they talking about a real starter at the second spot, outside of Marvin, I think Hall, you got to give him some consideration because of his speed. His speed down the field opened up everything underneath for Amendola, the running backs, and Hockenson. So if he can get off the line, he can be pressed, and he can run his routes, good enough to come back, whatever they going to run Sunday, he might be a problem because you could run, he a yak guy. You can run a jailbreak screen, you can run a slant, you can run a lot of things, circle routes, you can just do a lot of different things with him. But he should be in consideration. Then we go to Jamal Agnew and we look at him. How far has he come along? He made the team as a running back / receiver, but is he good enough to play on the outside right now? Maybe he played receiver in high school, so can he get off the line? And can his speed be a problem? Can he catch the ball in traffic? Could he do those things? It's the question, man. So it all depends, They might just do it by committee, but with Agnew, can he catch the drag? Can he catch the slant? Is he going to drop important balls out there? That's the question you got to make because this is a critical game. If Stafford see him open, he throw the ball, he drop it, then if he get hit and he drop it, then, you know what I'm saying? So, like I said, I got a decision to make. And people probably ask, why can't, Amendola play on the outside? And Amendola is more of a slot guy. He's shiftier more than fast at this point in his career in the period. So he more of a slot guy. So, I mean, could they put Hockenson outside and play some opposite number 2 to Marvin Jones? Yeah. He go out there and line up on the outside, probably have some success because with his athleticism, they can't jam that man off the line. You ain't got to worry about Hockenson getting jammed. You know what I'm saying? Hawkinson gonna get a clean release. The issue with Hawkinson is, do we got enough speed to stretch the field? Because if they know he's just gonna run intermediate, they just gonna squeeze him in zones, and they just gonna look. But you put him outside, in a one-on-one situation, they went 2 men under, they put him out on the island. You can just chuck it up to Hawkinson. He gonna get the ball. His body too big for a corner to get around him. So it's also alternative candidates you can go. Jesse James, he can box people out. He can run slants. And if they paying attention to Hawkinson and James on the outside and they trying to double them, you know what I'm saying? Then that's going to open up the defense, because a tight end will go out there and kill it on the outside, especially in the red zone. You know what I'm saying? He can kill it. Hawkinson athletic enough to play outside. So they can put Hawkinson on the outside if they having really trouble, and they can put Jesse James on the line, and he can go out there and he can do some good things. The corner ain't going to be able to man up with him. They're going to have to zone up with him. You know what I'm saying? They're going to have to zone or double him because he can't press him. They have to play off. And if you playing off of him, unless you got coverage up under him and you one-on-one, well, I'm going to throw that curl all day. I'm going to throw that out all day. I'm going to throw that slant all day because Hawkinson's body too big for them to fuck with him on the slant unless they double him. So if they doubling and Hawkinson a problem on the outside, then that should open up everything. So I think everything is on the floor. Everything is an option when you're talking about when we're talking about who can play the outside opposite of Marvin Jones. So, we can say, we can get more into Quintez Cephus. Cephus, he's played a lot of experience on the outside in the Big Ten and in college football. And, he probably will be the lead candidate to take that job, to be honest. But he got enough quickness. I think his speed underrated just because of a bad 40. He got good hands. So, if I had to bet my pretty penny on what way they're going to go as far as individuals, I think Quintez Cephus is going to probably be on the outside matching Marvin Jones. And you know what's so critical about that too? Or is it Quintez Cephus, Jamal Agnew, or Marvin Hall stepping that number 2 spot and they kill it versus the Bears? And if Kenny Golladay out long term and they killing it, don't be surprised if the Lions don't sign Golladay and they end up trading him because they're getting success out of Cephus or another receiver early on. And if it is Cephus getting if he balling on the outside, yeah, they probably going to move Kenny Golladay and not pay him. Now, if they struggle without Kenny Golladay and the offense struggle, then they going to pay him. You know what I'm saying? But, my pretty penny is probably Quintez Cephus is probably going to take the majority snaps outside. But don't rule out a receiver by committee there, too. Don't rule that out. And also, Amendola can go out there and be the 2, but like I said before, he's just not fast enough to respect his speed, and he don't have the size. So, if personally what I would do, I'd probably run with Cephus. But it all depends on what they see in Marvin Hall. Marvin Hall, his speed brings something different to the offense than Agnew. So if you can get that speed and have them run them deep outs and clear out underneath, that'd be nice. But my whole prerogative is this. My opinion is this. I probably roll with Cephus on the outside. Yep, I probably roll with him. My second thing is I probably run with Hawkinson on the outside too after Cephus. So I'll make Hawkinson play it and run the routes on the outside on Sunday if Cephus don't work or something happening. And then I'll probably Marvin Hall and Agnew. That'll probably be my 4 solutions. Boy, also you can run it by committee and people just spill in as you need them. So they can also run it by committee. And that also be hard on the number 2 cornerback they got over there. His name is Jalen something. That every receiver you throwing out there brings something different. You throw Cephus out there, he more of a route technician. You throw Hawkinson out there, he a big tight end. You throw Hall out there, he stretched the field. You throw Agnew out there, he might run a trick play, stretch the field. So I think, the Lions' best point plan is to go with Cephus right now, but I think also they should go by receiver by committee a little bit as well too. So, I think they can go with that, but we'll see what they do Sunday. Do appreciate everybody for checking in, but right now it just looks like Kenny Golladay may not play. And also with him, today is a big day, because a lot of players got paid and he didn't get paid yet. Cooper Kupp got paid, Alvin Kamara got paid, Dalvin Cook got paid. So, Tre'Davious White has been paid in the last week or two. Somebody else got paid. DeAndre Hopkins got paid. So basically he's seeing all these guys getting paid right before, Sunday football kickoff, and he's pretty much could be sitting there like, you know what? My hamstring gonna continue to hurt until I get paid or y'all trade me. So you really don't know. You don't get the vibe from him like that he will be that type of player. But then again, when you messing with the bacon, you messing with his family livelihood, and you see Joe Dell get paid a couple of years ago. You see, you see who else got paid? Taylor Decker getting paid. And neither one of them combined is better than you. You know what I'm saying? You see they bring in Big V, pay him all that money. He hurt. You know, you see they bring all these free agents in, they paying these dudes, and they not paying you. Naturally, it's a human emotion to feel a certain type of way, to feel like you underappreciated. So, you know, I think personally for him, you just looking at the situation for all these dudes getting paid, you know, and you not. I mean, it's hard to fathom him, dog. You know what I'm saying? And maybe maybe he want $20 million after seeing what Cooper, Michael Thomas, and really what DeAndre Hopkins got, and the Lions not gonna be willing to pay him. You know, they paid Calvin based off the fact that Calvin put asses in the seat. Calvin was a household name. Kenny Golladay ain't a household name. He can't exceed the muck of Detroit. And the muck is that we don't win, so we don't get national televised game. Calvin just has some really outstanding highlights, jumping over 5 Bengals, putting Dez Bryant Dick in the dirt in that game. He just was a super great player that came in the NFL with a lot of hype. Kenny Golladay didn't have no hype coming into the NFL, but he's exceeded that, and people don't understand how good he is because he don't get on that national televised stage. You know what I'm saying? Thanksgiving, he did his thing last year. But, you know, it's to the point where they paying everybody else, and maybe by the time I put this video up and blink, they pay him. But hopefully he get his bread, man, because that's a dude that deserve it. You know, he been playing on a discount ever since he came into Detroit. And people say, oh, he's always injured. Matthew Stafford was injured all the time his career early on. People forget that. You know, first year, collarbone. Second year, I forgot, first year was shoulder, whatever it was. Second year, Jeff Backus got knocked out the game by Julius Peppers. He got knocked out the game in Tennessee one year. He was always injured. You know what I'm saying? And that's just what it is. And the Lions fans will turn on every player on this franchise. If you never noticed, they turned on Barry when he abruptly retired. They turned on Calvin as well too. They'll turn on you even though they know the Fords and the Lions are wrong. They will turn on you. A lot of them. They turn on all their players. You know what I'm saying? Knowing that this organization don't do right by a lot of people, but it is what it is, man. Hopefully he get the bag. Don't forget you can follow us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can reach out if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video question, YouTube question, want to chop it up. I'm going to try to fit a live stream in today, talk about the game. It's coming up Sunday. So hopefully I can fit that in. Hopefully later the afternoon, maybe tonight. Tomorrow I'm still considering. I'm still pondering should I go live for the game and give live commentary. So still considering that, man. But I appreciate everybody for checking in. Hit that subscribe button, bell icon button, share the video. We go.